Okay, now let's take a look at the different ways in which you can create 3D objects in Photoshop. So if you don't have your 3D panel open, so just open it or view it for Window 3D. So you will be using it to create your 3D objects. So the first thing you have is you have your source. So you have four types of sources from the selected layer or work path, current selection, and file. So the first thing we will start talking about the selected layer, which is the layer that you select in the layer panel. So you have five different types of creation here. So the first one is going to be just a 3D postcard. So to see what that is, I'm going to create. So let's just see now. As you can see, I have my layer like it's still 2D, but it's being placed in a 3D space. And I have my current layer as being a texture for it. So the colors from my layer is being texture for the 3D layer. So you can see that's very straightforward. It's just a 2D plane being located in 3D space. Now go back. So until this is 2D. Okay, the other type we have is a 3D extrusion. So you can create this an extrusion. So I'm going to create so you can see the effect. You can see this, it's like a box now. The extrusion will be depending on the shape that you have, which is because I have a full layer, so it's going to be like my document resolution. So the texture that I had here, or the layer, is being used as the front face texture. Then the other material that I have on the extrusion is a default material. So you can see I have a extrusion material. I can change. So this is it, and this is my front face. And I'm going to talk more about how you can manipulate the extrusion, but you can do that with the deformation. So this is your extrusion depth. So you can control it, you can make it negative. So as you can see, so this is my extrusion depth. And I have a little bit more deformation here. I can do like twisting and all of these stuff. So I'm going to just skip those because now I'm only going to talk about how you can create an object. So let's just undo until I reach this point. Now then you have mesh from preset. So you have predefined shapes or meshes inside Photoshop. They will use this layer that you have as a texture for them. So this layer will be round around them, or well, that's going to be depending on the shape. So the default one is gone. So it's the first one. For example, I'm going to choose the soda. Create. So you can see there's my soda can. I have my texture wrapped around it. I have multiple materials for this one because I have the body material, I have the top. So you can see this is a different material for the top. So this is called cap material, and I have label material. So this is the label material, has a texture, has diffuse texture of my layer that I already selected, and the cap material does not have any texture, so I can change the color. You can see this is my cap material. Okay, let's just try to see another shape, for example a hat. Create. You can see this. So this is my seam here. Here's where the both ends of the texture meet. Okay, I'm going to undo. Okay, I'm not going to select all of them, so you get the idea. Here's the different shapes you can just choose from if you want to see all of them. Just pick one after another and try them. Okay, now the other option that we have is mesh from depth map. So we can use depth map to create 3D meshes. So now if I will use this one, this is not just going to be just a texture. This will use the luminous information to create my mesh. So let's create this one. This might take a little bit of time because I have just a lot of black and whites. So you can see my mesh now. I have my whites being pushed away out towards my camera and black being pushed away from my camera. So let's just create something different. Create a new layer. Oh, let's just create a gradient. So first of all, I'm going to create black and white, radial. So this looks good. I'm going to adjust it now. Add something like white, black, So something white here. This one black. Okay, so now I'm going to create this one. Okay, so you can see that. So this is very good now. You can create all sorts of shapes with this one. So let's go back now, and we see the other options that we have. I'm going just to simplify this a little bit more. Well, let's just adjust this and delete. So we only have this kind of symbol shape. Okay, now the first option we have is plane. So let's just create it once again. We see how that will look. So as usual, this is what you would expect. The white will be popping out and the black's going in. You can see this. Okay, now let's just go back. So the other option we have is two-sided plane. So let's create this and see what that would do for us. So basically we'll get the same results, but in two planes they will be symmetrical around the x-axis. So I'm waiting for that to happen. Just rotate and see. So you can see the two planes effect. This is what's happening here. Okay, let's undo. Okay, then you have cylinder and sphere. So this is going to be very straightforward. And let's try cylinder. Okay, you can see that doesn't look very good now. It's not even clear. So for the sphere, so you can use all sort of layers. For example, I'm going to fill this one 50% gray, create a text. Okay, where's my text tool? I'm just gonna call it text. So I'll make a sphere. I'm going to rasterize type, merge the layers, create the sphere. Okay, so you can see that I have my sphere and my text is being extruded from it. So, and I can even change the color of my text. I can make it black, and the text will go ahead and create a hole for me inside of the layer. So I'm not going to do that now because I'm really sure that you understood the concept. Okay, the other one we have is a 3D volume. Now this will require multiple layers, so let's just delete those. I'm going to only create like symbol colors. So this is red. Okay, I'm going to create another one. Just make it some light blue. And another layer. And I'm going to make it green. So I'll select, so you can see 3D volume, select the multiple layers, hit create. So this is the option for creating the 3D volume. You have your X and Y and Z. So press OK. And you can see that my layers are being in 3D and they are merged together, like in a giving you a volumetric feel to them. So this is the volumetric option going to be. That's, of course, this will be predictable. So let's give them this one as well. So you can see the texture in the end. So let's go back. Okay, so now we covered the selected layer option. So let's see the other ones. Go to delete this. Okay, so work path. So you can see you don't have all the options available for you when you select work path. You only have 3D extrusion. So what that will do is it will take your path. For example, let's just create something like this one. Okay, new layer. Okay, this is pixels. That's why I was wondering why it didn't go ahead and created it. So let's just, okay, I'm going to leave it this way, and I'm going to create. So you can see there's my shape, there's my 3D mesh, and I have the color of the shape being the front and the back face. And I can create all sorts of things with this now. I'll go ahead, create another shape, make it subtract. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. So okay, I can add a little bit here if I want. Small streaks. I'm going to create a hole as well, so I can show you the different things you can do. So create, and you can see my object is very different now. So you're not limited to any shape here, but there's some certain limitation that will be depending on your complexity, your shape complexity. For example, I'm going to now let's just delete this one. Now you can create any sort of shape, so I'm going to create this one. You can see here's my shape, and I can still control all the other attributes, like if I'll go to the shape, control the extrusion depth, I can give it the same stuff like twist and all of these other settings that we will actually see in a minute now. But let's just undo this. Okay, I'm going to show you now. If I'll pick something more complex, for example, I think this one could work. I don't know. Is it too complex? It seems too complex. I don't know. I'm going to try this one. Okay, you can see it could not complete your request because the path is too complex. So you are limited a little bit in terms of complexity, but the shape you can create anything you want. So let's just create this one more time. And you are not limited to those circles. I'm going to just pick another one, a rectangle here. Okay, I just remove this, remove a little bit. Then I'm going to create. So you can see the different combinations of shapes that I can add. Okay, now the things that I wanted to show you here is when you finish, you don't have to just say undo and undo them multiple times so you can get to the shape and edit it and recreate your 3D object, because this might not be available to you if you did some other work. So you can go ahead, click on the shape, go to edit source. So here's your source. You can edit the source, finish with it. So for example, just okay, here's all your paths and shapes. So go to okay, this is set to new. I'll set subtract again. Let's add a different shape, like polygon here. Okay, when I finish, and I'm going to close it. So I say close. This is asking me if I want to save. I'll say yes, and here is my new shape. So you can see how easy it was to adjust it. So I'm going just to undo a lot of times here. So I think that's not going to be good, but just delete it. Okay, let's see the other option that we have. It's going to be current selection. So let's just get something here. Okay, so let's try to get something like this one here. And let's see the effect that we have. I'm going to change it. Now Photoshop crashed, so get back to painting, to 3D, sorry. And I'm going to make simple selection. Okay, so let's just make a circle here around the flower. And make current selection. And create. Okay, this is kind of slow. Okay, now you can see here's my 3D object with my picture, my image being textured on it, so front and the back face. And I'm not limited to this selection, so I can create different selections. For example, let's duplicate this one. You can get too complex with your selections, like a lot of areas and spaces and just fading out and have all of these different selections. This is not going to work. I'm pretty sure Photoshop will crash if you do that. So let's see now this. Okay, so this is what we have. Let's just scroll go around. I'm going to just do hide this one. So you can see here's my selection. Okay, let's undo. Okay, take a little bit of time. Let's just create an empty small one. Fill with black. So here's your current selection. I'm going to show you that you can create all sort of selections. So you have this one. Make a little hole. Something like that. I don't know if this will actually work. We will try it. Yeah, it did. So it's smart enough to know that. I should have just predicted that it would. It's Photoshop after all. So you can see this. Now the fourth option we have is file. So I'm gonna skip this one because this is how you can import files. So it's not like I'm not going to talk about it, but I'm going to skip it. So I'm going to talk about it in a later video.